this point, I think we're fully discounting the obvious next step, which is that this will lead to a broader Israeli incursion into the Gaza Strip and what could obviously be quite an ugly land war. But the idea that that is going to have any collateral consequences, or that it's going to spread into southern Lebanon, Hezbollah, Iran, most significantly, at this point, I would say, isn't priced in by the markets at all. I'm not saying it should be priced in as 100% as a certainty, but the risks are so great that we do get that kind of escalation that I'm surprised markets are as calm as they are. If it spreads to Iran, that's the single biggest question. And once it spreads to Iran, again, it depends exactly how it does so, how far it goes. But then comparisons to the Yom Kippur War in 1973 at least become possible. If we're talking about a conflict that disables their ability somehow or other to export oil, that does matter, because part of how oil prices have relatively stabilized since the Ukraine invasion, there are many reasons behind that. One of them is that Iran really has been coming back online. The Iranian oil exports have increased. If you take them right back down again, that is a big issue for the oil price. Not as important as it was in 1973, but still very important. If you have an expansion that then requires other countries that in the region that aren't necessarily friends of Iran, but can't look by as Israel moves beyond its borders, then obviously the situation gets very alarming indeed. No predictions here. If this were to happen, it's still a way off. But if the attempts to come to a deal with Saudi Arabia, between Saudi Arabia and Israel, really are definitively scuppered, that is quite a problem. This time around, it's hard to see. You can see why the Israeli aim, after the appalling things that Hamas has just done, would be to eliminate Hamas. You can also see that that's going to be really difficult to do, and arguably impossible to do without causing the kind of civilian casualties that other people are not going to be able to tolerate, that will create a broader disturbance across the region. I don't really see. It would be wonderful if there was some kind of a deal whereby even the Saudi Arabians felt comfortable to recognize Israel. That's conceivable, but the whole point of this exercise appears to have been to stop that from happening. Obviously, it would be really wonderful if the Israeli-Palestinian question itself could be resolved. I don't myself see how these appalling events have brought that any closer. The idea that an outcome in which both Israelis and Palestinians consider to be just and fair is further away than ever, which is a tragedy. But I just don't quite see how that kind of a positive outcome is available, how we would expect to get there from here.